I had a fascinating conversation the other day with the big dog over at Investor Fuel, one of the masterminds that I'm a part of. He effectively asked, if you can manage real estate as well as you do, wherever you want, why don't you just go after retirees who have portfolios? Like, why don't you just become the guy that says, hey, if you're tired of your real estate, we'll take on the admin? Because the admin is a lot bigger than most people realize. The admin is LLC setup and compliance, accounting and administrative, bookkeeping, tax prep, dealing with your property managers, making sure that your property manager is actually good at what they're doing. All that stuff comes into this. He asked me, why not just take over management? And when I was on my call this week with my executive assistant, we were chatting about that very specifically. There's a lot of reasons you can't take over management. I was chatting yesterday with a guy named Mike Hambright, who's the Investor Fuel big dog. And he's in a lot of businesses. And he's trying to keep me paying $2,000 a month to Investor Fuel. So he's trying to help me find value in his organization. Right. And he's like, I know your product is for underperforming real estate, but why don't you just manage the real estate where it sits? Why don't you focus on retirees who just want to step away from the workload? And the answer to that is, because the properties aren't producing enough income for me to charge a fee. Let's just say that we can manage a property anywhere in the US for $3,000 a year, which I think is probably a little low. But let's just say, okay, that's what it costs. We're going to onboard a property manager in, a market we don't live in, have a million property managers because we're just onboarding everywhere. It's just going to be crap, right? Let's just assume like, hey, we're just going to start doing this everywhere, right? We're going to charge $3,000 a year. The problem we're going to slam into immediately, and I'm freaking talking immediately, is the properties don't cash flow. And what we're going to run into is what I'm going to call homeowners negligence. One of the reasons that we don't just manage properties anywhere and just say, hey, we're going to do this anywhere is because of homeowners negligence. It's like, hey, a homeowner can be as negligent as they want with a rental that they own. Right? Yeah. A homeowner can just not have an LLC. A homeowner can just say, hey, if I get sued, I get sued. It's on me. As soon as I'm getting paid, I'm in a fiduciary position. And so it's like, no. The property manager has to be managed because if the property's not managed pretty compliantly, that's on us. We are the ones in the position saying, hey, we're experts. And there must be LLC compliance. That LLC's for liability protection because if they get sued, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame the guy who's getting paid. And so I explained to this guy, I was like, hey, I can't just say it's $1,000 a year and do the same level of management that they were doing because as soon as I'm getting paid, I'm in a fiduciary position and it has to be managed like a business. And to manage it like a business, you've got to do a bunch of things that cost money. That's just part of a very honest conversation my executive assistant and I had, where we were just saying, hey, why can't we do this anywhere? Yeah, we had a fun conversation with that. If you want a longer conversation around how you can actually fix your portfolio and how to look at real estate is what works and what doesn't work. Fundamentally, like take it all the way down to the base numbers, the most important single factors on what works and doesn't work. I want you to watch the video next, Fixing Rental Cash Flows. It's only about 8 minutes long, but it goes all through how rental cash flows get broken, how you can fix those cash flows. It takes a lot of work, but that's what Bedrock does. It's the Bedrock solution, what we do. So watch Fixing Rental Cash Flows. That's what Bedrock does. We walk through kind of the problem on a larger scope. I hope you love that. I'm going to put that right here.